12 things you should know about the apocalyptic hurricane of fire that is rampaging through Southern California. Michael Snyder reports. The hurricane of fire, quote unquote, that's ripping across Los Angeles County is already being called one of the worst natural disasters in the entire history of the state of California. There are actually several different fires that have erupted, and extremely high winds are spreading them very rapidly. The Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, the Hearst fire are the three largest, and the destruction that they have already caused is absolutely staggering. In recent years, large wildfires have become very common in California, but what we are witnessing right now is truly frightening. The following are 12 things you should know about the apocalyptic hurricane of fire that's rampaging through Southern California. Number 1, the Palisades fire has already destroyed approximately 1,000 structures. More than 1,000 homes, businesses, and other buildings have burned, and at least the wildfire scorching communities across Los Angeles County, making this one of the most destructive firestorms to hit the region in memory. The Palisades fire had charred more than 5,000 acres as of Wednesday morning, burning down the Pacific Coast Highway, where it engulfed homes along the iconic stretch. About 1,000 structures, including many homes, have been destroyed in the fire, LA County Fire Chief Anthony Marone said during a news conference on Wednesday morning. Number 2, as I write this article, he says we are being told that the Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, and the Hearst fire are all 0% contained. Governor Gavin Newsom has declared a state of emergency as firefighters struggle to control the fires, all listed as 0 contained. Photos from the scenes show homes engulfed in flames, and thousands of residences were threatened. Much of Los Angeles was enveloped in smoke. Number 3, wild gusts of up to 80 miles an hour are quickly spreading the fires from one area to another. Wild gusts are expected to peak at 50 to 70 miles an hour across portions of Southern California, with localized gusts of up to 80 miles an hour. According to Phi Uyghur, this would be the case for communities like Santa Clarita and Riverside. An AccuWeather local storm max of 100 miles an hour is most likely in the mountains. Many hurricane force winds gusts are recorded as of Wednesday morning. For example, Hollywood Burbank Airport recorded a peak gust around 9 p.m. PST of 71 miles an hour. AccuWeather meteorologist Daniel Erishman said additional gusts approaching 100 miles an hour were recorded above 2,000 feet in Santa Monica and San Gabriel Mountains Tuesday night. Number 4, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass cut the city's fire budget by $17.6 million. So how did something like this happen? Well, reports suggest the powers that be refused to fill the reservoirs, with water that is. And get this, while this is all unfolding, we're discovering that DEI Mayor Karen Bass made massive budget cuts to the fire department, which is really strange considering one of California's most popular seasons is literally called fire. Karen Bass cut the fire department's funding by a whopping $17.6 million. Number 5, Mayor Karen is not even in Los Angeles right now as her city burns. She is in Ghana. Furious Los Angeles residents tore into the absent Mayor Karen Bass into her office, who was 7,400 miles away in Arica on a political trip as raging fires turned the city of Angels into an apocalyptic hellscape Tuesday. Resign. Why are you in Ghana? One person commented on an ex post by Bass' offices giving an update on the wildfires. Bass traveled with 3 other people to Ghana for the inauguration of President John Dramani Mahama, who was elected last year. Number 6, it's been reported that hydrants in the disaster area are running dry. Los Angeles fire hydrants are out of water because the county refused to refill reservoirs per Rick Caruso. You can't fight a fire without water. The mayor did 0 prep despite the advance warning of winds and fire risk. This is exactly what happened on Maui, he said. Number 7, reporter Matthew Seedorf was actually there when a hydrant on Lanchman Lane ran completely dry. Around 4:45 p.m. Tuesday, a hydrant firefighters were using on Lanchman Lane ran dry, and you can hear what sounds like air pushing out but no water. Number 8, according to Amy Meck, the Santa Ynez and Upper Stone Canyon reservoirs were not supplying adequate water to hydrants. How is it possible that in fire-prone Los Angeles, hydrants, or first line of defense, are dry when they're needed most? Homes are being reduced to ash, not because firefighters lack skill or bravery, but because there's no water to fight the flames. Questions LADWP must answer. Why are reservoirs like Santa Ynez and Upper Stone Canyon not supplying adequate water to hydrants? Were maintenance or refuel protocols ignored ahead of wildfire season? What contingency plans were in place for such an emergency? Number 9. Rick Caruso is blaming aging infrastructure for the lack of water. Rick Caruso, billionaire real estate developer and former commissioner of the city's water board, pointed to the reservoirs linking to the hydrants as the source of the problem. This is a window into a systemic problem of the city, not only of mismanagement, but our infrastructure is old, said Caruso, who ran unsuccessfully for Los Angeles mayor in 2022. Recently, I wrote an entire article about America's crumbling infrastructure. Today, we're witnessing a perfect example of how the negligence of our politicians can have extremely severe consequences. Number 10. Instead of being so focused on DEI, perhaps Los Angeles Fire Department Chief Kristen Crowley should have been more focused on actually fighting fires. Then there's Los Angeles Fire Department Chief Kristen Crowley, whom local ABC7 celebrated as the first LGBTQ plus person on the lead to lead the department, and also the first woman. Her focus seems to have been less on fighting fires and more on launching the Los Angeles Fire Department first ever Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Bureau, DEI, focused on ensuring a safe, diverse and inclusive workplace for all. Number 11. In 2024, large insurance companies such as State Farm and Allstate canceled large numbers of homes insurance policies in Los Angeles County. State Farm and Allstate recently stopped writing new policies in California due to fears they could lose massive amounts of money from natural disasters such as fires. Newsweek reports in April 2024, State Farm, one of the biggest private insurers in the state, announced that it had canceled a total of 72,000 policies in California, 30,000 of which were homes. Many of those affected lived in high-risk upscale neighborhoods in Los Angeles County, the area now affected by the Palisades fire. Actor James Woods lost his home in the Palisades fire, and he says that insurance companies canceled all the policies in our neighborhood about 4 months ago. Actually, one of the major insurance companies canceled all the policies in our neighborhood about 4 months ago, he said. Number 12. The Palisades fire had already been designated as the most destructive fire in Los Angeles history. After destroying roughly 1,000 homes and buildings, the Palisades fire, which has not been contained by the California Fire Department, is now the most destructive fire in Los Angeles history, the Associated Press reported. The Sayre fire in November 2008 previously held that record after it destroyed 604 structures in Sylmar, a northern suburb of Los Angeles. This is truly a historic tragedy. We should mourn for the lives that have been lost. And we should also mourn with those that have lost their homes because a lot of them did not have insurance. Unfortunately, it's expected that the region will continue to be battered by high winds until Thursday, and so this is a story that is far from over. This is by Michael Snyder on the Economic Collapse blog. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. This is by Michael Snyder and about the author. Michael Snyder's new book entitled Why is available on paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 8 other books that are available on Amazon, including Chaos, End Times, 70 Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work that he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News, and he's always freely and happily allowed others to republish those articles on their own websites. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.